The underhives of Necromunda have no shortage of loners, criminals and exiles, many wandering from settlement to settlement, trying to keep a low profile or keep to themselves as they make a living. The hooded gunfighter known as Ashwood, or more commonly as simply the Stranger, is one such fighter. Where Ashwood came from, or what he is looking for, remains a mystery. The nomad blade he wears on his back, hinting at his long travels between the hive cities. Wherever he comes from, however, the gunfighter does have a habit of turning up wherever the Palanite enforcers are making their presence known. Quite unlike most of his peers, Ashwood is a force for justice within the Underhive, often settling debts or righting wrongs, especially when the wrong party is powerless to settle them themselves. Sometimes the Stranger even has followers, though these are just as mysterious as their boss and like to cover their faces and seldom speak. There are some who reckon Ashwood to have once been an enforcer himself, and certainly the custom equalizer stub pistol he carries is surprisingly similar to Palanite manufacture. Then there is the fact that he has a habit of bringing rogue enforcers down, when even the Merchants Guild won't put a bounty on their heads. Not that all enforcers are Ashwood's enemies, and from time to time it is said the good ones even throw in with the Stranger if their goals align. For a while at least. The one thing that is in no doubt about Ashwood is when his job is done, he disappears back into the Outlands, becoming just another soul wandering the wastes of the Underhive. Good day and welcome back to Wellywood Wargaming. My name is Damon, and in this episode, episode 4 of my Hired Guns, Dramatis, Personae and Bounty Hunters series, I'm going to be looking today at the Ashwood Stranger. Now the Ashwood Stranger, full rules are available for this guy in the Book of the Outcast, which is probably the best Necromunda book to date, if you ask me. It just has loads of cool stuff in it, like all the weird powers. It also has rules for outcast, gangs, delegations, etc. Plus this guy, and that's one reason to buy it as well. So the Ashwood Stranger, 170 credits to hire for a game, which is not that much considering how good he is. Now we're just going to get into the stats quickly and talk about how he is in the game, but of course, like anything, it's kind of hinted in this book that you can use this guy as your leader in an outcast gang. Of course, you can use any single fighter profile in the entirety of the game as your leader in an outcast gang, be it a brainleaf zombie or a giant rat, but I strongly recommend not doing that and maybe picking this guy instead. And here is why. So let's look at the stats quickly. We have a movement of 5, a weapon skill of 4+, which is average. The movement is average too. Ballistic skill of 2+, though. This guy is most definitely a shooter, and again, you're going to see why very shortly. We have a strength of 3 and a toughness of 3, and we have 3 wounds too. So like an Orlok gang leader there with some really, really high resilience with his wounds there. We have an initiative of 3 up, which is better than average, 2 attacks, and his mental stats are an 8+ leadership, which is quite low for what he does, a cool of 3+ though, which is fantastically good, a willpower of 5+, also excellent, and an intelligence above average with a 7+ there as well. Skills here, we have gunfighter, fast shot, and hip shooting, all very, very cool indeed. Gunfighter reduces the negative to shoot both pistols. We have fast shot, which means that you can shoot as a simple action, so you can shoot twice in a turn with the same weapon, and pretty cool. But we also have hip shooting as well, meaning that you can run and gun with -1 to hit as well. So running and gunning, very, very cool there. So you could potentially, I think you can run and gun and gunfight at the same time. Not sure if you can do both at once. I'll have to comment down below if you can or not. I can't actually remember. But we then have the weapons that this guy carries and war gear. We have flak armor, which is not the best armor in the game. It gives you a 6-up save, a 5-up save against blast weapons. It's not the best, if I'm honest, but he does have 3 wounds. But we have a custom stub gun with normal and dum-dum. We also have a custom auto pistol as well, and a nomad blade. Now these weapons are quite unusual. They're not amazing. They're certainly not game-breaking in any way, but both the stub gun and the custom auto pistol have an increased range. That's the only difference. So we've got a range of 16 inches at long range instead of 12 inches, I believe. And yeah, not too bad at all, but you kind of want better weapons on this guy, if I'm honest. And you can do that if you have him as an outcast leader. You could switch the weapons out and pay extra for 2 plasma pistols or something. Don't do that though, because it's kind of corny. I quite like the fact that this guy's just got a stub gun and an auto pistol. It's great, especially when you consider the abilities that we can talk about in a second. He also has a Nomad blade though. Nomad blades, if you don't know, is exactly the same stats wise as a long blade for Ashwaste's Nomads. That is a -2 AP sword with parry. Pretty cool, not bad at all. And again, this guy's got an average weapon skill, so you're not really using that often, but if you do have to get stuck in close combat, then at least you've got a sword for parrying as well. Now we've got a special rule here, and this is the reason why he stands out above anyone else, and it's kind of insane. We have a quick draw special rule here. When targeted by a shooting attack while ready, make a ranged attack against the attacker with any equipped weapon. This does not remove your ready marker. So I'll just repeat that quickly. If you've got your ready marker and someone shoots at you, you get to shoot first. It doesn't matter if they're in range or not, you just get to shoot first. And now, the rules are a bit ambiguous on this, but yeah, pretty cool. You get to shoot first, basically, and it does not remove your ready marker. So you probably want to save this guy for fairly late in a turn, because if you're in amongst it and you've got him surrounded by a bunch of guys, and they all want to shoot at you, then, you know, excellent. This guy, of course, is a shooter, and he's also good against shooters. He's not so great against maybe corpse grinders and people with close combat proficiency and scary masks. I'd say this guy is, you know, absolute polar opposite sort of gang that he'd want to face would be corpse grinders, perhaps. But with a, you know, with a willpower of 5+, he can certainly do that too. But again, he's not dishing out lots of damage. He's just really, really annoying and really, really cool with that mechanic for the special rule there. Yeah, he can always be included in a random crew, taking up one slot as normal. So he always needs to be where he needs to be, which is another cool special rule there as well. But that's just using him as an outcast leader. If you want to use him as a hired gun, though, again, 170 credits, not bad at all. I think this guy's great. I really, really like him. I'd love to see how he develops in a campaign, what kind of skills that you could also pick up. But 3 of those skills there, shooting skills, gunfighter, fast shot, and hip shooting, are all awesome. Give him a few more skills and we'll see what he can do. I mean, you could even make him a psyker if you wanted to go down that archetype route as well. So it would be a bit corny again, but that's the Ashwood Stranger. I really, really like this guy. I haven't actually been able to use him yet, but I'm very keen on doing an outcast gang using this guy, just for that awesome mechanic, really, with the shoot first thing. Now, talking about the model quickly, though. When I saw the artwork for this guy in the Book of the Outcast, I thought, that's really cool. And I've seen some really cool conversions up till the Forge World miniature was released. When the Forge World miniature sort of was released, I initially just didn't really like it so much. I can't tell if it's the paint job or there's just something that's not quite right for me. It's not a bad model, but it's just not a great model. I think they could have done a better job with it, make him look a little bit more menacing and mysterious. But again, I probably would make my own version of this because I love the Enforcer models and their armor and stuff. And maybe I'll just get this model and convert it a little bit more. I'm not really sure, but I'm sure you can think of ways to make this guy look really, really awesome. I just think the guns look too big. I think that's what it is. The guns look a little bit big for me, a little bit cartoonish. But hey ho, it is what it is. That's it from me anyway. I thought I'd just give you number 4 there. That's the Ashwood Stranger. So again, please do like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video real soon. Peace out.